Module 2. What an experience! An experience is knowledge that you gain from trying new things. What and the exclamation mark means that it was great. It was unexpected, surprising. What an experience! It was good. Discuss. Can you think of any unforgettable moments in your life? Unforgettable moments. Moments that you can't forget because they are either very good or they are very bad. Well, personally, I remember the first time I got into a swimming pool. I was very frightened, very scared. Now I can swim very well, but the first time it was very frightening. What an experience it was. Do you get excited, thrilled about new experiences, or do they frighten you? Frighten? Scare. Do they scare you? Well, sometimes I get frightened if I'm trying something for the first time ever. Like, I haven't done anything like this. Rock climbing. Maybe the first time I try this, I will feel frightened, but I love new experiences. I get excited because from new experiences, from trying new things, you learn new things. 2a. What happened? 1. Listening and reading. A. Discuss. What makes an interesting holiday experience? What makes a holiday experience not boring, interesting? Well, I think that if you try something new on your holiday will be interesting. If you keep doing the same thing that you do every holiday, you will feel bored. What's your opinion? What do you think about the following activities? These are activities, things that people do. 1. We have hiking. Hiking is going for a long walk away from the city. Cycling. Riding your bike. Rock climbing. B is silent. Rock climbing. What do you think of this? Scuba diving. Exploring seas and oceans using scuba equipment, like this air cylinder. Sightseeing. Visiting landmarks in a city. Shopping. You go to the mall and you buy things. Well, what's your opinion about these activities? Well, my opinion, some of them sound very dangerous. Like this, I have never done this before and probably never will. It's very risky. Some other activities are fun, like cycling. I have done this before and it's fun. I have never done any hiking in my life, but I'd love to try it. Sightseeing, also good. Shopping, I'm tired of going shopping. I've done this a million times. B. Look at the pictures. What do you think the dialogue is about? Don't read, just look at the pictures. What do you think today's reading is about? Listen and check your answers. Well, I think it's about people going cycling in mountains, probably. Now let's listen and find out more.
Let me show you some pictures from our cycling trip in the south of France.
Okay. How was it?
It was nice, but it was a bit tiring.
Look, here's one outside the hotel on our first day.
We were tired from the car journey, so we didn't ride much that day.
But the next day we went on a long ride.
Too long. We decided to go to this gorge, but the hills were really steep in that area.
Frank was pushing his bike most of the way up.
Yes, you weren't helping at all. You were taking pictures of me all the time. Here's one.
It looks very muddy.
And that's before the rain. The water came down like a river.
Sounds dangerous.
No, actually, it was exciting.
Yeah, And when we managed to reach the top, we were amazed.
The view down into the gorge was fantastic.
Did you take any pictures there?
Sorry, but with all that rain, the camera got wet and stopped working.
So all that effort and no pictures to show for it.
I'm afraid so.
Now take it from the top. Let me show you some pictures from our cycling trip. A trip is when you go from one place to another and then come back, usually for fun. Usually, sometimes it's business trip in the south of France. France is a country in Europe. South means this part of France. Okay, how was it? It was nice, but it was a bit tiring. We felt tired. We felt exhausted because of the journey, because of the trip. Look, here is one outside the hotel. Here is one what? Here is one picture of us outside the hotel. Hotel is a building where you stay when you are away from home. On our first day, we were tired. We felt that we had no energy left. What's the difference between tired and tiring? Tired is a feeling that you get. Tiring is what caused this feeling. The trip was tiring. This is why we felt tired. We will talk more about this in the next video. We were tired from the car journey. Journey is like a trip. So we didn't ride much, right? Look at the man here. He is riding his bike. That is ride. We didn't ride much that day, but the next day we went on a long ride. Too long, actually. We chose to go to this gorge. This is a gorge. It's a path between hills or mountains. A narrow path. But the hills were really steep. Hills? Not mountains. No, they are smaller. These hills were steep, very hard to climb, very hard to walk on. In that area, in that place. Frank was pushing his bike. He wasn't riding. This is Frank, and this is Martin. Martin was riding. Frank was pushing his bike most of the way up. Why? It's very difficult. The hills were really steep. He couldn't ride his bike. Yes, I remember that. You weren't helping at all. You were taking pictures of me all the time. Here is one. Here is one what? Here is one picture. Look. Tony, look. Oh, it looks very muddy. This is mud. Do you see the picture? Mud is earth mixed with water. Mud, muddy, a lot of mud. And that's before the rain. The water came down like a river. It was raining heavily. Sounds dangerous. Sounds means seems. If I tell you something and you think it's dangerous, you tell me, wow, sounds dangerous. If I show you something and you think it's dangerous, you say, wow, it looks dangerous. Dangerous, not safe. No, actually, the truth is, it wasn't dangerous. It was exciting. It was thrilling. I enjoyed it. Yeah, and when we managed to reach the top, when we were able to get to the top, we were amazed. We were astonished. The view down into the gorge was fantastic. The way it seemed. After we got to the top, we looked down. We looked down into the gorge, and the view, what we saw, was fantastic. Did you take any pictures there from the top? A picture of the gorge? Sorry, no. But with all that rain, the camera got wet. Water got into the camera and stopped working. So all that effort, all that hard work, and no pictures to show for it? I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so means yes, no pictures. If someone asks you about something and it's bad news, you want to say yes, you could say, I'm afraid so. That means it is true. Now, read the dialogue again if you need to and answer the questions. 1. Who was with Frank on the cycling trip? There is Frank, Tony, and Martin. Were they all together? No. Frank and Martin were together, and now they are showing the pictures to Tony. Look, Tony, here is one picture outside the hotel. It was Martin. 2. What did they do on the second day? But the next day we went on a long ride. They went on a long ride. 3. Why did Frank have trouble on the journey to the gorge? What was the problem? Frank? The hills were really steep, very difficult to walk on, to ride your bike on. 4. Why wasn't Martin helping Frank? What was he doing? He was taking pictures of Frank all the time. 5. Why didn't they take pictures of the gorge? What happened? Well, in the end, the camera got wet. That's why, and it stopped working. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I will leave you now with the workbook exercise. I'll see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.